Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings. Alright, it's Monday. Some interesting stuff going on today actually. We'll start off with a mirror. Now, in particular, the Great Bin Collection scandal. Thousands of us are paying private corporations to take our bin rubbish away because, as planned by the councils and government, this is why what it's all been about. This is why they stopped the collection, because remember, we used to get the rubbish collected once a week and that worked fine. Then they decided they wanted to make the slaves work a bit harder, so they started giving us recyclable bins. Now, I've got nothing against recycling whatsoever. I think it's a good idea. But when they're forcing you to do it with threats of fines and forfeitures, without being taken to court, of course, then it's a different matter. Now, so they cut it down to 2 fortnightly. In some places, I think in some parts of Manchester, it's actually every 3 weeks you get your bin emptied. It's all about getting you to pay for it privately. Therefore, the council can just pocket all you want. Now, don't forget, according to the scum councils, your council tax pays for all this. Well, if your council tax pays for all this, why are we having to pay private corporations to do it? Because this has been the plan all along. Absolutely all along. And this will be the plan to roll out on us all. Then over on the left-hand side there, you've got sick hunters cashing in on the skin of elephants. Well, murdering of any animals is sick, let alone what's going off there. I'm not going to get into because it's just gross. Then the Angelina Jolie part is beyond stupid, really. Angelina, I'll be a honey trap to snare warlord. Yeah, because they're never going to think that, are they? Especially after you've put it in the paper. Well, I think you're onto a good one there, Angelina, even with your tits that aren't cut off but were cut off but no, aren't really cut off. Gets more confused. We'll move on. The Guardian, full of nothing as usual. Tory Brexiteers turn their fire on Treasury. Ooh, cool. Because we're going to have that imaginary creature known as a Brexit. Ooh, nah. And then a bit about the Catalonia's silent majority take to the streets. And in some papers I've been looking at, they've been saying, you know, they admit they are Spain, they want to be Spanish, they just don't want to be under the feudal federal system. They want their own, be able to run themselves, but of course we can't allow that. And just for, as always in most papers these days, up in the top in the middle there, trans in Colombia. They're talking about the transgender agenda again, just to try and push it that little bit further. It's okay if you thought you were a girl in a previous life, or you think you're a girl born into a boy's body, or vice versa. That's what a load of... I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying that this is an agenda that we need to be aware of and need to be on guard from. Daily Mail. Why Branson's Britain's most patronising swine? Well, that is actually interesting, because him and a couple of the other Illuminati parasitical scum, they put an advert out a few years back now, where they were saying, well, some people think we're in the Illuminati. Yeah, well, some people know you are, but that's by the by. Anyway, let's get back to the main stuff instead of the distractions. Gender neutral census. Declaring your sex in next survey could be optional. They're pushing the transgender shit again. Always pushing it. In every paper you'll find something to do with it. I guarantee if you bother to read them, and if you do read them, don't buy them. At least go to a cafe and have a sandwich or a cup of tea or something and read the papers for free. Don't waste any money on this junk. And then something about who's the movie goddess in the wacky headgear. I've got another question for you. Who gives a shit? The Times. The ball's in your court, May tells EU leaders. Oh, so that must be about Brexit then, because we're definitely going to have one, because, you know, we voted for it 18 months ago and nothing's happened, and it was supposed to be a 2-year term before we would actually leave, so that's coming up very soon. But, oh wait, no, they've pushed it back now to 2021. Oh, it's almost like they're putting this out, like they're leading you down the path of pretending we're going to have a Brexit, And then they're going to turn around and go, oh, well, actually, we're too integrated now, so we can't have that. Over on the right-hand side there, this made me piss, this did. Inmates get themselves locked up to sell drugs. Like there's not enough on the streets that don't want to buy them. That is so ridiculous. I'm not saying they don't do it, but if they did, they're clearly on something. Daily Telegraph. Pound coin chaos. Remember, they like using that word. Order out of chaos, you know. As shops defy deadline. Oh, you mean shopkeepers are actually standing up for themselves and saying, well, I know that you said that if we don't put it in by then, it's not legal tender, we're not going to take it. But you know what? It's a pound coin to me, and I'm going to carry on taking it. And you lot can do that. I think it's good if that is a real story or fake story. Who knows? Sack Boris on the right. Sack Boris, and he will refuse to go. May warned. Why would you sack the former Prime Minister? Why would you want to do that? Yeah, other part of the agenda, destroy the family unit up in the top right hand corner there. More women than ever are having extra sexual affairs, and that's what all the TV programming is all about as well. This is why on almost anything, if you watch any of that rubbish, you'll see them having affairs left, right and centre, multiple partners and transgender partners, gays and all that sort of thing. It's all been put in the psyche to try and turn us all into an easily controllable, sexually deviant masses, and they're doing a fairly good job because many are falling for it, but not you lot, because I know you lot's got your head screwed on. The Sun. Again, I know I say it almost every time, but why does anyone buy that piece of junk? Never any news or information in it, and that is, like all papers, it's just propaganda getting you to want to believe their story, their version of events. PM told axe Phil or Bojo. What a load of shit. Some girl, Louise Left James, some bird that married a footballer. Wow, yeah, that's an interesting life, you know. They've got all that money and they sleep around. Oh, well, it's almost like there's some sort of agenda going off there, but I'll leave that. And Ryan the Scare, another non-story. Unfortunately, it's true what many say. If you read The Sun, you just haven't got a brain to think with. The eye paper. So it should be like that, shouldn't it? Or is it like that? I don't know whichever way round they do it, but you know which one, what I'm talking about. The main headline, May fights back and threatens Boris with the sack. Oh, do we have to hear the same crap in every paper? Yes, of course you do, because they put it out in multiple formats and you tend to believe it. Oh, the eye paper said it, the Sun said it, this paper said it. It must be true then, because if you keep repeating some bullshit long enough, the public will accept it. Apart from that, nothing much else on there, apart from down in the bottom left-hand corner, they're trying to push solidarity, bring Spain together, don't let Catalonia split up. Once you start seeing the propaganda, you just can't stop, and you do get really, really sick and tired and bored to death of it. Daily Express notice, now 10p, because no one's buying any of the papers anymore. We had it up to around £1 almost. In fact, some of the Sunday papers were over £1. And now we're having to lower it back down because nobody's reading the papers anymore because they're full of crap, and we can get the information on the internet, and we can go to Mark Salon with a C, Mark Salon with an S, or Sri Lanka C's channel and get the news anyway. So why would you want to waste money? Even 10p on a rag that's a waste of space. But we'll get back to May warns EU, the ball's in your court. Yeah. Because it's not already all integrated and they're planning to Brexit. Nigella Lawson, the real secret behind my success. I can tell you the real secret behind her success is because her dad is a paedophile. Or protects paedophiles, is involved in paedophilia. That's the reason of her success. And then if we look up on the top there, balmy Britain set to bask in 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I remember seeing in one of these pieces of junk that September we were going to have an Indian summer. Now, regardless of whether they chemtrailed it out or not, everywhere else had good weather apart from us. And so when they say we're set to bask in 70 degrees, you can probably expect snow. Star. Louise, truth about me, Jamie, and don't you just get sick of this celebrity bullshit? And not that I even knew who they were until I actually read a bit about them. He's a footballer and she's I don't know who she is. Russell, I've lost my 10 million. Russell, you lying. I'll cut that piece out. Or blurb that one out. You liar. You got more than 10 million. You were paying over £1 million pounds a year for the apartment you were living in. So don't give us the sob story crap out on weather is going so balmy. Yes, of course the weather's going balmy. They're chemtrailing the sky, they're using HAARP all over the place. They can control the weather now, they have done for a long time. So yes, the weather's going balmy because they are doing it, they are causing it. But, you know, just ignore it, just think things are going on as normal. Or just literally ignore it and see a better everything. Because when you see it in here, you'll feel it out here. The F Times. Huge march in Barcelona calls for unity. Now this is the same Catalonia that wants out of the Spanish controlled dictatorship. But apparently now, according to the Times, they're calling for unity. So they want back in now. Do you believe that for one split second? After having seen the videos of them battering, that one where they're having a street party and they come and start kicking crap out. Do you believe any of this rubbish in this propaganda machine? And then further down, Schreiber says debt and liquidity levels endanger global economy. Well, I guess they're saying that, you know, shit's going to hit the fan. Well, it's got to sooner or later because everything's going that way. Whether it's needed to, possibly, because those that are still unaware of the wool being pulled over their eyes may need something as dramatic as another crash to just say, whoa, another one in less than 10 years? What's going on here? Someone's not looking after us properly. Maybe then banks are causing some of these problems. Maybe it's the Rothschilds. Yeah, maybe the government are controlled by the Rothschilds, who at the end of the day are controlled by the Vatican anyway. But yeah, maybe that's what's going on. All those crazy conspiracy theorists warning us that this stuff was going on, maybe they were right all along. Maybe they were. See you tomorrow.